Israel may be heading back to the negotiating table, this time in Doha, for what could be the final attempt to end the 22-month-long war in Gaza. Talks are focused on a comprehensive agreement, full release of hostages, total Israeli withdrawal from the Strip, and an end to active conflict. But the path to peace remains tangled in demands, deadlines, and deep distrust. As of August 13th, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has signaled a hardened stance. In a television interview, he declared that partial hostage deals are behind us, indicating that Israel will now only accept a framework that includes the release of all 50 remaining hostages and a definitive end to the war, but only on Israeli terms. This includes Hamas's complete disarmament and relinquishment of power in Gaza. Despite the stalemate that ended previous negotiations last month, momentum is building again. Egyptian mediators have resumed meetings with senior Hamas officials in Cairo. Meanwhile, Qatar is preparing to host the next round of indirect talks, bringing Israeli and Hamas positions back under scrutiny. According to an Arab diplomat familiar with the process, the mediators are expected to push for a 60-day truce that could evolve into a permanent ceasefire, a plan resembling the earlier US-backed proposal that faltered in July. The breakdown of that deal left both sides frustrated. Israel blamed Hamas for raising new conditions late in the process. The United States backed that narrative, with Ambassador Mike Huckabee stating publicly that Hamas showed no serious intent to reach an agreement. Yet Arab diplomats argue the gaps remain bridgeable, noting that both Israel and Hamas have altered demands at different stages of the talks. Netanyahu's government is under intense internal pressure. Recent protests in Tel Aviv have drawn retired military officers, hostage families, and opposition lawmakers, all urging the government to strike a deal before further escalation. A growing number of Israelis now support a ceasefire in exchange for the hostages' safe return, but the military calculus complicates the equation. Following the failed July talks, Netanyahu approved an operation to capture Gaza City starting in October. This campaign is expected to last months, yet it also created a new urgency, a limited window in which diplomacy could avert more destruction. On Hamas's side, key figures like Khalil al-Hayya have arrived in Cairo to revive the stalled process. Hamas has stated publicly that it seeks to end the war, facilitate humanitarian aid, and ease the suffering of civilians in Gaza. Still, Israel demands more. Not just peace, but a guarantee that Hamas will relinquish its military capabilities and political control. The scope of the potential agreement is unprecedented. It includes not just the hostages, but a vision for post-war Gaza, governance, security arrangements, and long-term reconstruction. Any final deal would likely require broad international guarantees and intense regional cooperation. But will Hamas accept total surrender? Will Netanyahu bend under domestic and global pressure? And will external powers, especially the US, Egypt, and Qatar, be able to bridge the last stubborn gaps? As of now, all eyes are on Doha. The coming days could determine whether the region continues down a path of war or finally turns toward peace.